Instagram user Noah Nafasan made a choice that every seasoned paranormal investigator warns against. He decided to purchase a replica of the infamous Annabelle doll. For anyone unfamiliar, the real Annabelle is a cursed Raggedy Ann doll kept sealed behind glass at the Warrens Occult Museum, after being linked to several terrifying hauntings. But replicas of the doll are said to carry their own dark energy, often acting as magnets for supernatural activity. Noah proudly displayed his replica in a glass cabinet in his kitchen, unaware of the chaos it would soon invite. According to him, strange disturbances began almost immediately, objects shifting on their own, lights flickering, and cold drafts sweeping through the house. Then, on October 5th, 2025, his security camera captured undeniable proof that something unholy had taken interest in his home. In the eerie footage, the cabinet door slowly creaks open by itself, revealing the Annabelle replica sitting motionless inside, facing the room like it's aware of being watched. Moments later, someone, presumably Noah, approaches to close the door, but before he can, an object on a nearby table slides across without anyone touching it. Realizing he's in the presence of something unseen, Noah bolts from the kitchen in panic. Yet the doll remains still, her stitched smile unchanging, her glassy eyes fixed forward, as if pleased with the fear she's caused. Experts in the paranormal warn that replica haunted dolls can serve as vessels for spirits, granting them a physical anchor within the home. By bringing this imitation Annabelle into his house, Noah may have done more than decorate his shelf. He might have given something truly demonic permission to make itself at home. Before we jump into our next terrifying video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, so you'll be the first to know whenever we upload something new. Now let's get back to our next video. TikTok user Appalachian lives in a 200-year-old farmhouse, tucked deep within the shadowy forests of the Appalachian Mountains in West Virginia. One quiet afternoon, she began hearing unsettling noises echoing from the basement. Low thuds and scraping sounds she assumed were just rats. Curious, but uneasy, she grabbed her phone, hit record, and carefully descended the creaking stairs to investigate. What happened next would turn a simple inspection into one of the most terrifying paranormal encounters she's ever experienced. As she nears one of the basement doors, something shifts on the other side. Suddenly, the door handle jerks violently, as though someone or something is trying to get out. But here's where it gets truly disturbing. That door doesn't lead anywhere. It's a sealed doorway, built against solid wall, a remnant from the house's early construction. Whatever was pulling on that handle wasn't coming from any physical room. It was coming from the darkness itself.
So these are the steps that lead out. I don't know what that is, but if you look, it's been sealed from the inside and the outside.
Appalachia later shared that she still has no logical explanation for what she heard that day. No drafts, no animals, and no signs of tampering. Since then, she's chosen to stay cautious, keeping the basement locked and avoiding it after sunset. Whether it was a restless spirit trapped within the home's foundations or something older tied to the land, one thing is certain: some doors are never meant to be opened. For the past 5 years, Lisa and Ted Rogers have been painstakingly restoring a centuries-old chateau in the peaceful Limousin region of France. Their YouTube channel, Château de Montmonye, documents every stage of the renovation, showing viewers the charm, history, and quiet beauty of life in the French countryside. It's not a paranormal channel by any means, just home restoration and daily vlogs. But one evening, things took an unexpectedly supernatural turn. Lisa became convinced there was a mouse scurrying around inside the chateau's old boot room. Ted, however, insisted there was no evidence of rodents. Determined to prove him wrong, Lisa set up a camera overnight, hoping to catch the tiny intruder in action.
We didn't catch the mouse. There was no mouse last night. However, there is something else we did catch. And yeah, I'm going to go and get Ted to come and watch the footage.
What are we looking at?
Right, so let me start playing. So this is from last night. This is me setting the camera up. So I'll set the camera up so you can see the hole in the corner. Can you see it? Hope you can see it. Anyway, I'm off to bed. It's very late. So we'll see whether we catch this mouse out in the morning. And then Ted will have to believe me that there is something running above our bedroom. I'll see you all in the morning. Good night.
But when they reviewed the footage the next morning, what the camera captured was nothing like a mouse.
Now, you heard me put the latch on the door there.
Yeah, it sounded like it, yeah.
Okay, so the sensor light's gone out.
Right.
So I'm going to forward this bit because it's about 2 hours, well, it is 2 hours, 27 minutes into filming last night. Now, we went to bed about midnight.
Yeah.
So this would be about 2:30. This happens. Now, you heard the latch go off the door.
Yeah.
And that's the light coming on.
The motion sensor light.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, what? There's shadow there.
Yeah.
I can see a shadow moving across it.
Yeah. Keep watching.
Oh my God. What? That's got to be an animal or something, isn't it?
That was a big shadow for an animal.
How? You can't.
How can an animal get up?
You can't have put the latch on properly.
I put the latch on because you heard the latch go on.
Yeah.
And you heard the latch come off.
I didn't actually hear the latch come off, but you know.
Right, let me play that again. You hear the latch?
Right, yeah.
The door open. Now, to push that door open, that's the heavy door, you've got to push it inwards. So somebody's got to be standing there to be able to open that door.
Yeah.
And there's nobody standing there.
And I've never known that door swing open on its own.
No. And the other thing is, the camera is up on a tripod. So to move it in a tilt, like it's tilted up, something has moved. It hasn't moved the tripod because the tripod would fall over. It's had to move the camera.
Oh, that's... I don't know, mate. I don't know. It's the shadow that got me than anything. The shadow walk... I don't get it.
That's weird, isn't it?
I don't
That
get
is
it.
just
I don't
bonkers.
get it.
Now, we get asked all the time. Oh,
In the recording, the door to the room suddenly unlatches and swings open on its own. A motion sensor light flickers on, illuminating what appears to be a shadowy figure gliding silently across the room. Then, in a moment that chills even skeptics, the camera shifts position, as if nudged by an unseen hand. Lisa, ever the optimist, brushed it off as something easily explained and assured viewers that Château de Montmonye remains open for guests. But the footage itself leaves a different impression. one that's hard to ignore.
We have lived here for 5 years and never had any ill feeling whatsoever.
No, I can't
But
say that there is.
that is pretty bonkers. So I never caught a mouse.
You might have caught something else.
As for Ted, he's not entirely convinced either way. He admits he doesn't know whether to believe or dismiss it, but there's no denying the strange energy that seems to linger in that room. Whether it's a spirit, a residual haunting, or something far more mysterious, one thing's for certain. The chateau has secrets that even renovation can't erase.
I don't know whether I believe or not believe. I don't disbelieve, let's put it that way. But it's just kind of freaky, isn't it?
It is a bit freaky. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Two fishermen off the coast of Alvarado, Mexico, were out at sea when they stumbled upon something utterly bizarre, a house floating in the middle of the ocean. At first, they thought it might be debris or a stranded boat, but as they drew closer, the structure looked eerily intact, like it had been freshly torn from the land. Unsure if someone needed help, the men began calling out, their voices echoing across the waves. That's when their camera captured something deeply unsettling.
¿De dónde vendrá esto? ¿De allá de Costa Rica o qué onda? Están buenas las puertas, pero tienen su tranca y están clavadas, verga. Pero que vayan a salir, no me vaya a salir un cristiano ahí. Vaya de frente. ¿Hay alguien con vida? ¿Hay alguien con vida? Respondan. ¡Ey! ¿Quién vive? ¿Quién vive? ¿Quién vive?
Hola, la puerta.
Que es la puerta mía trancada, verga.
A ver, nomás prueba.
Vaya que cuando me suba me salgan esta gente.
¿Quién? Pues tócale. Porque es que no estuvieran aquí.
Ni verga, no. Espera, me estoy grabando por la verga. ¿Hay alguien con vida? ¡Respondan!
Míralo. Ahí está.
Ay, hasta me asustó. Uy, me asustó.
As one of the fishermen shouted to see if anyone was still inside, a dark, shadowy figure suddenly moved across one of the windows. Its pale, ghost-like face appeared for a brief moment before ducking out of sight. The men froze, terrified, realizing that whatever was inside didn't seem human. After several unanswered calls, they eventually sailed away, too shaken to go any closer. Later reports from a local news outlet revealed that the structure was once the Atracadero restaurant in Tuxtla, Veracruz, swept out to sea by flooding after Hurricane Priscilla. But the question remains, if that building was abandoned and destroyed days earlier, then who or what was inside? Watching them from the shadows. For several weeks, Danny Ortega had been living with an unshakable sense of dread inside his apartment, an eerie awareness that someone or something was watching him from outside his window. At first, he brushed it off as paranoia, blaming stress or fatigue. But night after night, the sensation grew stronger, always coming from the same spot, and always when he was completely alone. His unit sat on the second floor of an old apartment building with no fire escape, no ledges, and no way for anyone to look inside. Yet the feeling of unseen eyes beyond the glass refused to fade. Then, one quiet afternoon, Danny finally captured proof that his fears weren't just in his head.
Hey, ¿qué pedo? No mames, si ven eso. ¡Qué verga! Y, o sea, lo cagado es que estoy en un segundo piso.
In the clip, a human-shaped shadow glides silently across his curtain, clear as day and unmistakably humanoid. Shocked, Danny rushes to the window, scanning the street below, but there's no one in sight. Viewers online quickly flooded the comments with theories, some suggesting it was merely a neighbor's reflection or a shadow cast from another building across the street. To silence the skeptics, Danny filmed a follow-up video in broad daylight, revealing exactly what lay outside his window.
La sombra se vio hace ratito y ya no se ha visto como en un minuto o algo así. Y no hay nadie construyendo ni nada. O sea, no hay nadie en ninguna azotea. Nada. Absolutamente nada. Tampoco hay nadie en la calle.
In the second recording, Danny pans the area surrounding his apartment. There are no rooftops in the right position to cast such a shadow. No pedestrians, no workers, no passing lights. Absolutely nothing that could explain the moving silhouette. The dark figure had appeared to walk directly past his second-floor window, in midair, where no person could physically stand. Paranormal investigators who reviewed the footage believe it may be a sentinel spirit, a supernatural entity bound to the property, endlessly pacing its invisible borders. Others claim it's a parasitic presence, feeding on fear and showing itself only long enough to draw attention. Experts warned Danny not to engage or acknowledge it, as entities like these thrive on recognition. Once they know you can see them, they make sure you'll never forget them. A woman named Allie recently came forward with a disturbing story after one of her clients shared a video that left her deeply shaken. According to the client, a man had tragically died in the front yard of her sister's house years ago. For the longest time, nothing unusual ever happened inside. No strange sounds, no unexplained movement. Until one night when her living room security camera captured something that would change everything. At exactly 11:45 p.m., the footage reveals a shadowy human figure gliding across the living room. It moves slowly, almost deliberately, before turning left and vanishing into thin air. The eerie part: the homeowner insists that no men live in the house, and no one was visiting that night. As the figure drifts out of frame, its form flickers and fades, like a spirit caught mid-manifestation. Understandably, the woman is terrified, unsure whether she's dealing with a ghost, residual haunting, or something far more supernatural. The real question now: has she already packed up and left, or is she still sleeping under the same roof where that uninvited entity appeared? This chilling clip was shared by a user named GoogleMeB. While casually reviewing security footage from his backyard, he stumbled upon something that froze him in disbelief. The motion alert caught his attention immediately. Something had triggered the camera. But what he saw on screen wasn't anything human. In all his time owning those cameras, he'd never witnessed movement like this. Whatever appeared that night defied logic, leaving him with no rational explanation for the strange, supernatural occurrence caught on film. On the right side of the footage, a glowing orb-like figure drifts across the yard, gliding silently toward the darkest corner. The light flickers and morphs, almost taking on the outline of a person, before vanishing without a trace. Even eerier, the moment the entity moves by, the motion-activated lights suddenly switch on, as if the ghost itself set them off. The entire scene radiates an unsettling energy, impossible to dismiss. Could this be genuine evidence of paranormal activity or something far more mysterious, lurking beyond our understanding? When a ghost or spirit targets an adult, most people shrug it off, believing grown-ups can handle the fear. But when the same haunting fixates on a child, it becomes something deeply disturbing. The thought of an innocent kid being exposed to dark supernatural forces is enough to send chills down anyone's spine. In the footage you're about to see, a young boy was alone in his kitchen when the unthinkable occurred. The faucet suddenly turned on by itself. Startled but curious, he grabbed his phone and began recording, hoping to catch proof of the strange activity. What his camera captured next is nothing short of terrifying. Watch closely.
What the? Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Moments later, the entire kitchen seemed to erupt with unexplained movement, a phenomenon investigators often call a paranormal surge. That term is used when multiple supernatural events occur in rapid succession, and what unfolded here far exceeded that definition. Afterward, the boy, whose name was Jake, shared the footage with his parents, friends, and later uploaded it to social media. Sadly, no one close to him believed it was real. Only a few strangers online took him seriously. Left feeling humiliated and misunderstood, Jake told everyone it had just been a joke to avoid being labeled the weird kid. Considering he was only 13 years old, that's a heartbreaking burden for someone so young to carry. A woman named Monica works inside a high-security government facility, the kind of place you'd assume is immune to anything supernatural. With surveillance cameras covering every hallway and restricted access on every level, it's about as safe as a building can be. Or so she thought. According to Monica, there's something inside those walls that security footage can't explain. After hearing unsettling stories from her coworkers about odd noises and flickering lights, she started asking questions. That's when one of them showed her a video that completely changed her perspective. In the clip, an elevator door opens by itself, revealing the faint outline of what appears to be a small child's shadow, standing perfectly still. Monica was frozen in disbelief, but her unease would soon turn into fear when, days later, she experienced something that made her blood run cold.
I'm at work. I'm the only person here. And I can hear. Oh my god, I'm scared. The scary movie says you don't go see what's going on. But what the I'm gonna lose my goddamn shit. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna die.
It happened early one Saturday morning around 7 a.m., when Monica was completely alone in the building. Out of nowhere, she heard the faint sound of a xylophone echoing through the empty corridors. The gentle notes carried through the silence, sending chills down her spine. No one else was supposed to be there. Following the eerie melody, she eventually found a child's toy xylophone lying on the floor. But as she reached for it, her phone's audio picked up something unexpected, a soft, disembodied whisper, faint but unmistakably human. Terrified, Monica searched every nearby office, closet, and hallway, only to confirm what she already knew. She was completely alone. So who was playing that toy? And whose ghostly voice had been caught on her recording? Whatever it was, one thing's certain. Some things inside that government building can't be monitored by any camera. We can all agree that home security cameras are supposed to bring comfort and protection. They're designed to detect movement, record activity, and give homeowners peace of mind. But what happens when the footage shows absolutely nothing moving, yet the audio tells a completely different story? Imagine hearing footsteps, knocks, and faint whispers echoing through empty rooms. That's the unsettling reality for the family in this next clip, who claim to experience unexplained paranormal activity almost every night. Turn up your volume for this one, because what you're about to hear is chilling. The mother who shared the footage explains that the haunting isn't always this extreme, but it seems to intensify during one particular time of year, the anniversary of a child's tragic death that occurred inside that same home long before they moved in. She describes sleepless nights filled with violent pounding on the doors, sometimes lasting 20 minutes before it suddenly stops. Other nights, the unmistakable sound of tiny footsteps races across the upstairs hallway, even when no one is there. At this point, the family can no longer dismiss it as old house noises, especially when the cameras remain visually empty, but the audio reveals undeniable evidence of something unseen. Could this be the restless spirit of that lost child? Or is there a darker supernatural force haunting their home? In this video, a man named Sean Austin captured something deeply unsettling coming from his ceiling late one night. The noise was so strange that he decided to hit record, hoping to make sense of it later. What his camera picked up has left viewers questioning whether this was just a random disturbance or something far more paranormal. Listen carefully.
I just heard two ridiculous taps on the ceiling. Very loud. It is 8:39 at night. I do not believe anyone would be... The heck is that? I don't know if that's an animal or what the hell that is exactly, but have been having weird things happen here on and off. I'm going to be going live here tonight and see what else kind of weird things happen. I do not know what that noise is, if it's an animal or natural noise, but that just happened out of nowhere. I've never heard that before. So let's find out what that's all about. I've never heard that noise before.
Sean lives on the top floor, which makes the situation even more confusing. His first thought was that maybe some kind of animal, like a raccoon or squirrel, had managed to crawl into the ceiling space. But the sounds were far too heavy, too deliberate, more like someone intentionally tapping rather than scurrying. Once the clip hit the internet, theories flooded in. Some people claimed it sounded exactly like footsteps, as if someone or something was pacing just above his head. Others suggested it could be a poltergeist or restless spirit trying to make contact. Paranormal investigators even noted that repeated knocking is often linked to attempts at communication from the other side. Sean himself remains skeptical, though he admits it deeply unnerved him, especially since he's lived there for years without ever hearing anything like it. Until he shares another update, this eerie mystery remains completely unsolved.